BYU and they didn't take a test.
Yeah.
But DeVerl had to get in.
This is October 22nd, 1900. 2000.
He's lost 2 years.
And we're here
2001.
we're here at Grace Lee Nixon Johansson home.
Wow.
And she's on the screen right now.
Eugene.
She
Do you have a
has
middle
her
name? Do you have a middle name? Eugene?
Eugene Johansson. And we've had a wonderful dinner and storytelling. And now we're going to hear a story from her as she finishes up the last one.
Did you finish the last one then?
No, I didn't get home.
Oh, okay, let's go home then.
Well, I knew that the buses run on Fifth Avenue.
What
Even
time
at
in the
3
morning
in the
was
morning?
this?
You said it would be 3.
Well, I didn't think of that.
3 o'clock.
What did you
That's
ask
part
her?
of the story.
What time in the morning was it that they got out of the hotel?
It was about
finally?
5 o'clock.
Oh,
5
really?
o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
And what
And
time
you're
did you
16.
That was after the play?
Yes.
Yes.
It was 5 o'clock in the morning.
It's
You
about
were
then.
15 years old, and you were with
I
Aunt
had turned
Grace.
16 by then.
Okay, and you were with Aunt Grace.
You'd
Yes.
Living with
been
her.
to a movie, or to a play,
To a play.
and Aunt Grace had gone to a nightclub to observe the couple that had participated in the play.
But it was
Yes.
at a hotel.
So I said, let's walk over to Fifth Avenue. We weren't too far away from Fifth Avenue. I says, the buses run there. And I don't know where to take you to get on a subway. She says, okay. Well, I took her over to Fifth Avenue, and we were standing there waiting for a bus to come by, and a police came along. And he says, what are you ladies doing on this street corner? And I said, I'm waiting for a bus. He says, the buses don't run all night. He says, they stop. He says, where are you going? And we lived on, where'd we live, Gene?
I don't remember.
Riverside Drive.
That's right.
That's where we live.
Riverside.
And he said, well, we have a bulletin out for 2 women that has been reported missing. He says, I'll take you home. So we went home in the police car that night.
Who had reported you missing?
Sarah. We've been gone all night.
And you never called her and told her what you were doing.
Oh,
Well, there was
heavens,
no place to
We
call.
didn't have a phone.
They didn't have a cell phone.
We didn't have a telephone in the apartment. But
That your apartment didn't have a phone.
I don't think so. I
Well,
don't know.
Not everybody had
Probably
phones those
the
days.
phone was out in the hall,
Yeah,
I
right.
would imagine.
Tell us, you said you went to New York before Aunt Grace.
Okay.
Yes,
Alone, and you were 15 years old.
yes.
What in the world did you do? Did you
Well,
know
You
anybody?
traveled by train? How'd you get there?
I went by boat
By
Uh,
boat?
What? From where?
from Martha's Vineyard.
Oh, okay, all right.
Oh, you went to New York from Martha's Vineyard. Okay, you didn't go to Martha's Vineyard early.
I went to Martha's Vineyard in May.
Yeah, and Aunt Grace
I
was
went
there.
to New York
So in September,
Oh.
about
End of
September,
August.
end of August, you went ahead.
See, I was still in high school, and I had to go to school a month before she had to be in college. So she said, I have 2 friends that is coming is in New York, and I remember the one person's name was Madge. Madge.
Jones.
Hmm?
Jones.
Dion?
Jones.
Jones.
No,
That's
she
where you
she
wound
didn't
up
know
with.
Mrs. Jones. I can't think of Madge's last name right now. So she says, I'll write her a letter. and see if you can stay with her, and then I can stay on the island until college starts.
What was she doing on the island?
She was going to school.
It was Powers School,
It was a drama school
drama school by Powers.
run by the Rice people.
Yeah, Rising.
And I said, okay. So she wrote to Madge, and she never got a letter
Madge never got
back.
it. Oh,
But she said, I'm sure it's all right. She says, I'll give you the address, and you can get a taxi. So we got on the boat. She walked on the boat with me and got my suitcase and she gave me, oh my gosh, she wanted things sent to New York that she had on the island, and she thought it was a good thing if I took them with me.
Uh-huh.
You know, so I didn't only have a suitcase, I had a saxophone and a suitcase and a trunk.
What about the saxophone? She plays the saxophone?
No, I did. And they were pots and pans and
So you had your trunk, you had Aunt Grace's trunk. Is that what you said?
things
Okay.
beside mine. So we got on the boat and we were standing there deciding what to do and where to go and what I should do. And she says, I think I'll run down the wharf here and get you some fruit. And I said, okay. And so she went down. Well, I felt the boat pulling out. And I just stood there and I looked down. And there she was, running with her fruit, but I was long gone. And I had sat there for about 30 minutes trying to know what to do when it occurred to me that she hadn't given me the address. It was still in her pocket.
Oh no.
So, anyway,
and she's still alive.
I rode up to the New York harbor, and I didn't know
oh you must
what
have
to
been
do. I
petrified.
just sat on the boat for a while, and then the steward came. Well, I had a terrible experience on the boat. We came through a terrible storm. I hadn't been on the boat more than a half hour out on the ocean when this storm came up. And we were told by the ship's captain, I imagine, to stay in our staterooms, that dinner that night would not be served. The boat pulled out about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And that night was terrible. We just rolled all over. Well, the girl that had a stateroom right by mine was a lot older than I suppose she was about 18, maybe 20. She knocked on my door and she come in and she says, "Are you alone?" And I said, "Yes." She says, "Well, I'm alone. We'll stay here in your room together and we will tie ourselves to the bed and the wash basin." There was a wash basin on the side, the bed was over here, because she says, "We're not going to be able to handle this if we don't get tied down." So I had a sash that I had on my dress and I tied myself to the bed. She tied herself to the pipe that goes down under a sink. And so our feet were together. And it wasn't wide enough for our feet passed each other. Mm-hmm. And that's the way we sat
All night
till
long.
morning. Well, when morning came and she was ready to get off the boat, she said, "Do you want to come with me?" And I said, "No, I couldn't do that. She says, well, you can come with me if you want. She says, I'm from Philadelphia. And she says, I'm a high-class prostitute. And she says,
Wow.
I have been on the island all summer with a fellow that had taken her there for the summer. I said, no, I'd find a way to get where I was going. And I had never, coming from a small town, I had never even known about the YWCA or the YMCA. You know, it just...
You didn't know.
No, I didn't know it. I didn't know it existed. But anyway, the steward came and he says, you've got to get your things and get off the boat. And by that time, it was about 9 o'clock in the morning. So he helped me, and I got all my things in the waiting room on the wharf. And I sat there for, I think I sat there maybe 2 or 3 hours. I didn't know what
Just
to
sat
do.
on your luggage on the wharf.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was closed in. It was a room.
Oh.
And I happened to look over where the phone booths were, and that New York phone booth just intrigued me. I never seen, it was about this thick. Well, I had done Daddy's books for a long time. Now, this might seem like a strange way for a mind to go, but you got to remember I was in a spot, so minds go goofy sometimes. I had done Daddy's books for about 2 years before I left back there, and the J's were always the
More
most.
J's than anything else.
They're
Oh, wow.
more J's than anything. If you, I think if you look in the phone book today, it's probably the same. So I went over to the phone booth, and I thought I'll look at see the Nixons and see if anything rings a bell. There were some Nixons there, and none that I had ever heard of. So I just flipped over into the J's, and just to see how many pages the J's would take in the New York phone booth. I didn't have anything else to do or nowhere to go. And I saw a name. I looked where I had flipped the J's over, and I saw a name, and that name was Rose Jones. And I thought, you know, that's a common name. Rose is common, Jones is common. I don't know why that name hit me, but I later found out that she was a teacher at Columbia University that was there for 1 year, and that I think I must have read that in the paper or something. Anyway.
And she was from Provo?
No, she was from Salt Lake.
From Salt Lake.
And so I called her. I just simply took the Fox. Madge's last name was Fox. I took the phone and I called, and it was about 10 o'clock in the morning. And I said, "Is this Mrs. Rose Jones?" And she says, "No, it isn't. It's Madge Fox."
Oh, you're kidding.
Now think that through.
My gosh.
Now, who was Madge Fox?
She was the
lady that
one
was
that I was
looking for.
supposed to live with.
How in the world did you get?
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you how it happened.
Wow.
I said, "Madge Fox." I said, "I'm Grace Nixon, and I was supposed to come live with you." And she says, oh, I wrote to your aunt and I told her that we didn't have room for you. But she says, I'm at Miss Rose Jones's house right now, visiting. And see, they would both be from Utah. And she says, I'll ask her if she can take you. So she said, she'd come back to the phone. She says, Miss Jones will take you. So she says, what have you got on? And I'll get down to the wharf and pick you up. And she described what she was wearing, and I described what I was wearing. And I waited. And it got 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it got 3, and it got 4. Nobody came. Finally, around 5 o'clock, I looked up, and here was this lady coming down the street, dressed like she had explained it. Well, when she got there, she explained she had been hours trying to find me. I didn't know there was more than one wharf in New York.
Oh, no.
And I didn't tell her whether I was on the Columbia River. I didn't tell her whether I was on the East River. I didn't tell her anything. So she had to go. She had to phone all these wharfs, find out who had a boat that came in from Martha's Vineyard about 6 o'clock in the morning. And that's how she finally found
She
me,
found you.
is through the phone. Well, she came and she said, "You're Grace," and I said, "Yes." And, "You're Madge?" "Yes." And the police came up.
Again.
A plainclothes policeman. He introduced himself and he said, I have been watching you since this morning. He said, where are you going? I said, well, I'm going with this lady, and her name is Madge Fox. And he says, I don't think it's a good idea. He says, do you know her? And I said, no. He turned to Madge Fox and he says, do you know this girl? She says, no. So he said, Madge talked to him then for a little while and explained where she was taking me and where I was to live. And it was just off Lexington Avenue, so it was not far from Riverside Drive, about 3-4 blocks. And he said, well, I'll follow you. He says, you get in a taxi and I will follow you. And
Trying to protect you,
to
right?
see if this is all right. So he came with us. And
You had your
I
guardian
met
angel.
Miss Jones, which I just fell in love with her, that's all. She was a lady of about, I would say, at that age I'd have said maybe 60, but I guess she wasn't. She might have been 50, but she seemed old to me.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe she was she couldn't have been in her 40s. She must have been 50. And the very next morning, Miss Jones says, all right, now we're going to go to this place. Sometimes it was a business house. Sometimes it was a museum. It was, she always, every morning, she had this
A plan for
plan. And she says, now I learned on 116th Street is where I got on the subway. And I'd take her. And she'd never say a word to me if I made a mistake. I'd get someplace and I'd see on the wall where we were and I'd say, this isn't right, is it? No, it isn't. Now what are we going to do?
Oh my goodness.
Then she'd take me over on the other side of the subway and we'd go back. Well, she did that for a month with me. so that when Aunt Grace came,
You knew the city.
I knew how to get where you were going. That
So
is
she taught you how to get around New York.
in Manhattan, at least I knew. And we got lost in Queens once, but in Manhattan I knew pretty well. That's why Sarah stayed by me. I could take Sarah where she wanted to go. But Miss Jones just, so when Aunt Grace came, I said to Miss Jones, I'd like to stay with you. And she said, you can't do that. She says, you got to go to your aunt the way your family plans. So
your mom and dad were here. You weren't in Provo yet.
no,
They were here, and they were supporting you to be in New York. And Aunt
In the
Grace,
Depression. On a doctor salary who never got paid.
He must got paid sometime.
well, I wrote and told him to send me some money so I could get up to New York before I left the island, and he sent me $25, and it took almost $25 to get from the wharf to where we lived. So you can see he wasn't very sensible either of what
your needs were.
my needs were. Yeah,
Well, now, who was supporting Aunt Grace? Were the kids with her?
yes.
And
And she was paying Sarah
to take care of all of you.
to take care of us.
But I thought your dad was also supporting Aunt Grace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was sending more than was needed for you.
Well,
Yes.
the way that was figured out, she gave me private lessons. And I must say, each week I got a lesson, so that she was living up to her. But they cost quite a bit of those lessons.
And it's the only way your mother would approve of getting Aunt Grace any money.
Right. Right.
Because Grandma wanted Willie
To pay.
to help pay for her getting a doctorate. Because
That's what it amounted to.
that's, yeah, and
She
that,
had 2 or 3 episodes where she had to get a master's, she had to get a doctorate, she had to go to Oxford. There's a lot of places where she had to have
But that was quite an
money
experience.
to get there.
At
what
16.
was Aunt Grace's, what was her goal? What, with all of this going to school, what was her goal?
Just going to school and becoming a great actress.
So her ambition was to become an actress.
Yes.
Why wasn't she in Hollywood?
I don't know.
You could have changed that. She wanted to be a teacher, and she was. She was a good
She was a good teacher. She was a good
She wasn't
drama
just after
teacher.
an actress. She figured
I,
she needed all of this.
I couldn't have accomplished what I did in drama without that experience. I couldn't have done it. So I owe her a great deal. And what always surprised me as I got older and thought back, what she never checked to see what happened to me. There was no phone calls, no nothing. She just blithely
For
lived.
that month,
Yes.
she never
No,
checked up on you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
she just somehow blithely thought that I'd get to match, and I did.
You had a guardian angel.
But
oh, absolutely.
what
I mean,
had
that's
happened
huge.
was Madge Fox she and the girls she lived with had gone down to Miss Jones because they were good friends. In fact, one of those women was in one of the presidencies of one of the auxiliaries of the church at that time. I think it was the MIA.
So they were all LDS.
Yes.
Rose Jones and Fox.
I did go visit Miss Jones
There's Ruth Mae Fox who was on
once when I decided I was going to get married. I did go to Miss Jones's house in Salt Lake and tell her I was going to be married.
So she came back to Salt Lake,
Yes, she
Rose
did.
Jones did.
Yeah, because she's there just a year.
Oh,
She just happened to be there that year.
oh.
She was a teacher at the University,
Columbia.
Columbia. And
Wait a minute,
Billy
teacher at Columbia.
got put in a play.
Not,
Rose
what about?
Jones.
I know, but you said she was from Salt Lake. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Jones?
she's from Jones, Salt Lake,
But she taught at Columbia.
For 1 year.
for 1 year.
Oh.
And that
Did
was
she teach
a,
at the University of Utah then, the rest of the time? Did she kind of go on
I
sabbatical?
assume so. I don't know.
You don't know. how
but Aunt Grace, did you write her and tell her that you arrived and you were all right?
No,
Why?
I don't know.
Well, you know, Grace, in those days back in the 30s, kids did wander around. I mean, you really didn't worry. I can remember in LA.
Yeah, but New York, Richard?
Well,
Yeah, but even the guardian angel of the police.
Of course, I used to go
You
to
know,
San Francisco.
if you
at
don't
12
know
and
each
13
other.
too.
yeah, exactly. And so people did, you know, she'd
yes.
throw you out and
I
figure
don't know.
you'd finally make it some way.
But
And people took care of kids roaming around, like this policeman. They kind of, you know, if you got lost in Los Angeles, Reed and I used to go downtown Los Angeles. If
Yeah.
anybody got lost, you always got to a policeman. You're always told go to a policeman, ask for help, and they'll.
Yeah,
take
I
care of
remember Elaine and I used to chase around. We'd get on a trolley and go out to Saldair. You know, there used to be a,
train out there.
and we were alone. And the Center Theater, we'd go down there in the evening to the show. And our parents didn't
Just they didn't think anything about it.
care about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you were how old?
oh,
12,
11,
13,
12.
11.
Yeah.
To Salt Air
yes.
at 11 and 12?
Oh yeah.
I remember at 12 years old going into San Francisco alone. Now, I never went into San Francisco without high heels, a hat, and gloves, and a handbag. I mean, you never, and that's how I dressed at 12. And I'd get on the Greyhound bus, and off I'd go and shop around. I wouldn't buy a lot. I just, shopping, come back.
Went out to Salt Air Saturday, 2 days ago.
I haven't been there for
You know what?
years. and
We went
years.
down, and
There's one building.
2 weeks ago, I went to visit some of my father's people who are not LDS, and they brought out their album, and they had pictures of Salt Air, and it would have been in the 20s. And
Well, it blew over in about this, let's see, about the 50s, I think early 60s.
yeah,
I
it
don't
was,
know.
it was
Yeah.
in really good condition in this picture. So
Now, why I remember that is Dean's girls, Deanna and Joy, Joy Dean, always Dean, came to visit us from Oregon. So we went out to Salt Air and to show them and that was when they had the big roller coaster
that was the highlight.
and all these other
fun
rides and
house
stuff.
and-
Yeah, and we were in the fun house. We couldn't ride the roller coaster because it was too windy. And 2 weeks later it blew over. So I know, and we rode the open air train to get there and we had, fun. But yeah, and so we sent them the articles of, Salt Air,
Going over.
But then after that, I think it just fell apart.
Yeah.
They never built back the roller coaster, but it was big. And anyway, that's why, they were out there. And they were just teenagers, so.
Well, what else did you do in New York? You went to high school in New York. What high school did you go to?
I went to a girls' school,
Wadley
Oh.
High.
Wadley High.
A private
Oh,
school.
man.
Was it a private school?
No.
It was a public school
Yes.
for girls only.
Yes,
Well, that's
the
different than it is today.
Colton was Don B. Colton was the stake president, or the mission president at that time, and he had a girl the same age as I. Her name was Gwen, or is Gwen. I hope she's still alive.
Colton.
Gwen Colton.
You in a...
And lo and behold, one day I was sitting in class for the first day at BYU. And not the first day I was there, but starting a new quarter. And here Gwen and I, rah, 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 waddly. They all thought, I guess they thought we two were crazy. But
How do you spell that? Waddly.
W-A-D-L-E-I-G-H.
W-A-D-L-E-I-G-H.
L-E-I-G-H.
Wadley High.
Waddly
So-
High. Oh.
And then Aunt Grace thought it would be a wonderful idea if I took a class with her at Columbia. So I had a night class in choral reading that I took.
Choral reading.
Mm-hmm.
At
They don't
Columbia.
do that anymore.
And how did you get to Columbia?
It was right behind us. It's about a block and a half from Riverside Drive.
Isn't that right close to, what's the area that Carol lived? She did an internship in New York, and it's right near, what's the area that's not the best of, not Watts, what's the opposite of Watts?
You mean the New York Watts?
Harlem.
Harlem.
Near
yeah.
Harlem?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I thought so. I think Riverside Drive
Yes.
is, it's right
Is
near.
it close to the park? Is it close to Central Park? Only
No.
over?
Oh, it's way
It's on
above.
Riverside Drive.
You
and
go from Riverside Drive, which is the last road in Manhattan.
Yeah, and then the
on
East
the
River
west.
is right there, isn't it?
Then you go about a block and a half here on 116th Street, and here's Columbia University. Then you walk about a block here, and right here is the president's house, or was. And then you go down about, I'd say maybe 70 or 80 steps. Not straight steps. You hit plateaus, or every so often, and then you're down into Morningside Drive, and then here's Harlem. Then if you go another ways, there's Wadley High.
Oh my
Now,
Oh, no.
what
Did you walk through Harlem? Or you just took a bus?
I did.
Every day you walked
But
through Harlem?
I had an English teacher that took me kind of over, and she had a book. She called us the book club, and we all had dinner together, and they invited me to have dinner with them. Now, there were 3 lunch times because there were 8,000 of us in the school.
8,000 girls in the
Yes.
school?
Were they mostly white in Harlem?
Well,
Or
the
half
upper
and half?
class Negroes were there.
So was it like half and half? Or
Oh,
not?
no, maybe a fourth. But I had 2
Oh.
Negro teachers. But
Okay, so all these white girls were going into Harlem.
Well, Harlem wasn't that way then, was it?
Harlem was just what they walked through.
Well,
to
this
get to
English
high school.
teacher
Right, but still,
that
nowadays you'd never do
I
that.
was friends with
Wouldn't work.
that brought me in to eat my dinner, she said, "You are not walking to school." And I said, "No." And I was. She says, "Are you getting on the subway and coming around?" Yes. I never walked in my life. I mean, never rode the subway once.
You walked
I walked.
every time.
And is that like 2 miles, 10 miles? How long?
I don't know what it was.
It seems like a
But
long
I
way.
do know that when I got down on Morningside Drive, 3 times when I went by, they were pulling a dead body out of the bushes where a girl had been
3 times?
3 times during that winter.
All
Where,
girls.
where,
Where she walked.
All girls they pulled from the bushes?
Yeah, they were all girls.
No wonder she said, "Don't you walk."
Yeah, she says, "You're not walking." I'd say, "No, I'm not."
But you were.
I was.
At night?
no,
Yes, there were times I'd went at night.
Grace, you had a
After all,
garden.
I was right here where you went where you pleased, It didn't occur to me till a couple of years later.
Later, after you got home.
Yeah,
Well, did it take you an hour to get to school? What's the time of walking?
close to that.
Oh.
What did Aunt Grace say? She did not know the danger?
I just wasn't aware of them. Most of those girls that I became friends with were Jews. Almost all of them. I had one girlfriend that wasn't, we still ride at
Right.
Christmas time. We've never seen each other now for how many years? Not to 1935.
Oh my.
I got a letter from her right here on the cabinet
Oh,
telling me that her husband had died. But we've written.
And where is she from?
She was from New York. She was in in this book club with me. Her name was Eleanor Blank, and then she married a man named Thomas. And she wrote to me just a couple of months ago and wanted me to know her husband had passed away. And
I think the Lord had to have 10 angels around her.
we kept track of each other all this time.
Now, wasn't there someone else that went out to live with Aunt Grace from the family? Virginia.
Virginia Wallenman.
She's not a member of the family.
And she came home at the end of the summer.
But wasn't another one of the cousins that went out there, didn't?
No. Virginia isn't a cousin, but she was a student of Aunt Grace's. She was 2 years younger than I.
Oh, she was a
What?
student.
She went out to New York at 12 or at 13, 14? And she stayed with Aunt Grace. And Aunt Grace taught her, and she paid Aunt Grace. So that's how she.
But she went home in the fall. She didn't go to New York.
Do you have
Oh,
any
okay. She's just there
pictures
for
of
the
your
summer.
time in New York?
Yeah, I was going to ask that too. Don't you have any pictures of when you were there? Did your father ever come out, or mother ever come out and visit you while you were there?
No, it wasn't a time where you.
I guess you didn't have money for film and cameras during
Oh,
the
I don't
Depression.
know. I had a camera. Daddy gave me a camera before I left. But I don't think I got any pictures that I took. We had a marvelous time in a way, a very learning time. Now, there was a professional actors there at the school. They didn't go to school with us, but they were all up from Broadway, and a couple from Hollywood. And then there were 2 or 3 models. And they put on a play every week, a 3-act play.
Every week they learn a new one?
Yes. And so they would put this play on
At Columbia.
this week. No,
No.
this is
group
on
of
the
actors.
island.
Oh, on the island before you went to New York.
They would
Martha's
put this
Vineyard.
play on. See, it was summertime, so they were in summer stock. And they were rehearsing this week's play while they were putting this play on. In order for them to do that,
Yeah.
so that they could immerse themselves in the characterization and everything, they wore the costumes. And they didn't get out of character. They would come in and eat with us, but they were in character of the play that was going to go on the next week.
Oh, my word.
Now, on Monday nights, you went in formal clothes. And the students who were at school had jobs. Some sold candy, some sold tickets, some seated them when they came in. for their
Ushers,
tickets. And my job, because I was so much younger than the rest, and Virginia was with me, we had to put the pop on the stage because it's against the law to have alcoholic beverages on a stage. And so we had to learn that cream soda was whiskey, And your strawberry was your red wine.
What was red wine?
Red wine.
What?
Strawberry.
Strawberry.
It was labeled as pop, but it was really hard liquor.
No,
Oh,
we were using this pop for the thing that was in the play.
Oh, for the props.
I see.
So if it said in Act 3 on the buffet is some red wine, you knew that you had to get the strawberry pop on the mantle or on the, and and then we had another job besides that. The actors in their dressing rooms between acts wanted some pop to drink, and we had to remember their favorite. They were very short-tempered with us.
Really?
If we had the wrong pop in the wrong dressing room, we had to stay on our toes, and we had to see that stuff was on the stage.
What an experience.
And then they put me in one play. It was a children's play, Cinderella, because I wasn't as educated as the rest that were back there. Even Virginia was a couple of years ahead of me as far as having experience in drama was concerned, because she'd had Aunt Grace for a teacher for several years. But I was the fairy godmother, and they put me up on a pulley. When a certain line came, that's when the pulley went up. I had to hang on the pulley, and then they put me down through the chimney, because the fairy godmother came through the chimney in this play. And the last day that we put that play on, it was my birthday, my 16th birthday. So they surprised me when they brought the cake in for the prince's birthday. It was a real cake. And it was at least as wide as this table. And it was 3 layers. And I thought I was in 7th heaven.
And that was for you.
That was for me. And the cast to have,
And people would come up from New York to watch these.
Yes, and Boston. We were closer to Boston than anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it was mostly Boston people. And what we called the summer people, which is the Kennedys and the others that you read
The
about.
Kennedys were still there? Were they there when you were
I
there?
have no idea.
Yeah, that was.
It wouldn't have affected me. I didn't care about those kind of things. So I didn't even know they existed.
They live in a different world.
So,
Okay, so in the summer you studied with Aunt Grace, and then you did this one play.
Mhm.
But you didn't have
Then
a
went
job or.
Oh,
Right.
no.
Then went to New York. While she went to Columbia, you went to
High school. Wadley.
Wadley.
Wildly High. Through
Now,
through
excuse me.
Harlem.
Tell me again about Uncle Willie and your going with him.
Oh, in the car?
You were the oldest
Yes,
of the entire family. In fact, quite a bit older than the rest of them, weren't you?
yes.
Jay was next.
No, Margie Dean's next.
Marjorie Dean.
There's 4 years between us because there was a boy that died, between us.
Mm-hmm.
So I was 4 years, there's 4 years between all of us.
I see. So tell us about your travels with your dad.
Well,
Here in
You have
Castle,
to-
it was here in Castledale, wasn't it?
yes,
It wasn't in Huntington.
no,
He brought his bride from Boston, wasn't it? Where your mother came from?
no,
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. That's even worse.
He met her when he was going to medical
school.
school.
Right.
And what was she doing? Was she studying too at medical school,
No.
or was she just?
No, Mother was what would be comparable now to a CPA.
Oh, really?
She kept books.
She was a very, very intelligent woman.
And so he married her,
yeah.
or did he go back and get her after he graduated from medical
No.
school? Tell us how that all worked.
He
You better start with your uncle.
he got put in the
Hey.
army.
Hey,
What?
you better start with your Uncle Dan on that story.
Well, all right. Now, do you know who Aunt Ida is?
Ida MacArthur.
Yes.
That's your Effie's sister.
And she's the one that practically raised Grandma
Oh,
because the mother and father were killed, or the mother died and the father was killed.
Franklin
And she was
did.
just a little
So
gal.
Ida raised Effie.
And Ida raised Effie.
Oh,
I
okay.
think she was the oldest of the family.
Yes.
Well, Uncle Dan was Aunt Ida's son.
Oh, really?
Now, he was a dentist, and he had met my mother in Philadelphia. He'd gone to school in Philadelphia. He was 2 or 3 years older than my father, but they were very close because Grandma and Aunt Ida had a relationship there that was more than sisters.
It was the mother.
It's like a mother and a daughter. And so Uncle Dan knew Mother. How he knew her is because they were Mormons. They had, I learned as I did the genealogy here that I'm trying to do some of Mother's genealogy. There's nobody to do hers.
Yeah.
And I found that they were baptized in England before they came here.
Your mother.
Mother's people.
Your mother's people.
Yes, her mother and father.
So they came to America in relation to the church.
Well, no, they really
Not
didn't.
necessarily.
My grandfather was a captain of a ship.
Sea captain.
He was a sea captain. That's where he made a living. My grandmother said one day, I can't see any reason why you can't leave and go on ships in America as well as you can in England. And he didn't want to come. But while he was out, she made arrangements so that when he came back, they moved. Now, there were only 2 years difference between my Aunt Lily and my mother. Aunt Lily, that was her sister. She was born in England. My mother was born in the United States. So they must have come
In between times.
right between those 2 years.
Now, who joined the church? Your grandparents?
Mm-hmm.
In England?
Mm-hmm. Her mother and father. My mother's mother and father.
But your mother was
I
never...
had in mind that your mother was a convert.
No,
She was.
no,
going
she
to
wasn't.
church.
I thought that too once, but she wasn't. I found out as I went in there that even one of the apostles baptized, I can't remember which one, baptized that family.
Would it have been, what was it I just said?
But anyhow, Uncle Dan, her mother and her family used to take the missionaries home. And Uncle Dan was very friendly with the Mormon missionaries, of course, that were in Philadelphia. And so they got acquainted with Mother. She brought Uncle Dan home. She and Uncle Dan became engaged.
Oh, really?
They were to marry. My mother, or my father, when he left to go to school, was engaged to a girl by the name of Hattie Cox, here in
C-O-X? C-O-X, Cox?
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, one of my sister-in-law that I lived with at school, my Aunt Hattie was her Aunt Hattie, but they were on different sides. She was my Aunt Hattie because of Uncle Dan. She was Jane's Aunt Hattie because she was her mother's sister. So when they Uncle Dan came back to set up his practice as a dentist. He said, and Daddy was on his way to Philadelphia to school. He says, well, you take care of my girl and I'll take care of yours. And they did very well because they married.
Each other's girls.
Yes. Daddy married Mother and that, and Uncle Dan married Aunt Hattie. And
That's strange.
so that's that story. That
That's how
wonder-
they got together.
I want to know who broke the news to who first.
So then, when your father was through with was he through with medical school when he married your mother?
yes,
Did he go back after her?
no,
Or
he brought her with him.
he brought her with him?
But
And
he graduated first.
Yes, they did in those days.
He graduated after 4 years of medical school. How many years of medical school then?
6.
So he dated
Daddy
her for
was
6
30.
years?
He was 6.
When he married. Daddy was 30, Mother was 26.
But did they date for 6 years?
Did they what?
Date for 6
go
years.
together for 6 years without being married?
No.
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay, so when they decided to set up practice, why in the world here in the desert?
He didn't.
Well,
he set up in Brigham City.
Grandma and Grandpa lived here in Huntington.
Yeah.
Now, Daddy went as a company doctor to Hiawatha.
He started in Brigham City.
He started where?
At Brigham City.
Yeah, he started at Brigham
Right.
City.
So he came back to Utah.
Now, he wasn't married to Mother then.
No.
Okay, but he was a doctor and graduated. We'll get it straight. And then he went back to get her to marry.
Oh, I
her.
know how he went back. He got drafted in the Army.
World War One.
Mm-hmm.
So he went to he graduated, went to Hiawatha or Brigham
No.
City,
Brigham City.
went to Brigham City, and worked as a company doctor in the
No.
mines.
No.
He went to Brigham City and then was drafted.
Went
So he
to
wasn't in Brigham City very
working
long.
for another doctor. Was going to take over the practice. Then they learned about a camp. Hiawatha needed a doctor. He came to Hiawatha.
Now where's Hiawatha?
It's
right up
between
on
here
the
and Price.
hillside.
Oh, between here and Price.
Yeah.
What's-
And they were still living in Huntington.
Let me ask you, what's Camp Hiawatha? Was that an army camp?
No, it was
A camp
Coal
doctor is
Coal mining
hired
camp.
by
Oh,
the
coal
coal
mining.
company.
and those coal mining camps in those days all had a doctor and a hospital. So it was kind of a good place to be. You got a hospital all equipped for a new doctor to come in. But by the time they came to Hiawatha, they were married.
So sometime between
Brigham City.
Brigham City and Hiawatha, he went back and got her and brought her out to Hiawatha. And that's and so they took the train to Salt Lake and came down to Provo, and then took the train to Price, and then took a buggy or something out to Hiawatha. And
No,
he
Daddy
said,
had a car by then.
okay, he had a car.
I know he did. He had one of those Fords because
Model A.
he got stalled on the railroad tracks as you come over in Price,
Uh-huh.
and the car wouldn't go. And he and Mother got out, and the train took the car.
Oh,
You
wow.
gotta be kidding.
No, I'm not.
No.
So I know
Right
they had
after-
a car.
Right after they got married.
Yeah, that was before I was born. I was born in Hiawatha.
And took the car. And your dad brought your mother
From Philadelphia.
from Philadelphia, the green state with trees, and beautiful and ticks and
Water,
everything,
lots of water.
To Hiawatha.
and brought her to this desert,
To a coal camp.
to a coal camp.
Right.
And
What'd
she,
your mother think about that?
My mother
Well, surely she must
was
have
the
known.
hardest
Never did
woman to live
survive.
with that you have ever imagined.
Really?
And what was your dad like? Very easygoing?
Easygoing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you have to.
He'd have killed her by.
He what?
He'd have killed her if he,
He
hadn't
wasn't.
been. He used to come in the house and throw his hat. He always wore a hat. If the hat sailed back, he went on and made some more calls.
That's a good story.
Mother was a hard woman to live with.
Well, did she become that way because of...
No, I think she was that way all the time. I used to go up and stay with Aunt Lily once in a while.
Her sister.
Yes, she came out to Utah, and Marjadine was always very hard to live with. Mother always said Marjadine was like a stick in a tub of yeast. She'd be gone somewhere, and Mother'd say to the rest of us, "Now, don't let her draw you into a quarrel. Just don't do it. Ignore her." 30 minutes after Marjadine came in the house, we were all alone. And Aunt Lily
Send
told,
everybody else.
yeah,
Who is Marge Dean?
Her
Her sister.
sister, younger sister.
my sister. I raised her 2 boys. So Aunt Lily told me, she says, Marjadine's just like your mother.
Open
But
that one.
Aunt Lily told me that when she got through, I imagine it was comparable to high school, or maybe it was not that, not 4 years. Maybe, but I think it was more like a sophomore today. She was taken out of school because my grandmother was ill. She had asthma very badly. And Mother always said that she imagined she had it. But she died of it, so I decided it wasn't all her imagination. But so Aunt Lily, when Mother graduated, Aunt Lily says, "Now I am going to be married," and Mother never told me this. Aunt Lily told me. And she says, "It's your turn to take care of Mother." And my mother said, "I'm not going to take care of her." She says, "I have no intentions of taking care of her." She says, "If you're fool enough to do it, go ahead." She says, "I'm going to school," which she did. And like I say, she was comparable to a CPA. She went to college. She must have been a very good employer, because when she got married, she had to go back to the silk stocking place where she was the bookkeeper and set their records straight again after she got married. So, and she had a very short temper, but she had no patience. She had no patience at all. I remember she was a very, very good math person. She could do math like nothing, and it was always hard for me, especially story problems. I would work so hard to try and figure that through. You give a kid a quarter and it goes, and the eggs are 20 cents a dozen, and so he got a half a dozen. What did he pay? By the time I got to what did he pay? And Mother would try to help me, and finally, every time she helped me, she hit me on the head with the arithmetic book. She just couldn't stand it. And I look back and I think, well, I hardly blame the woman. I was so messed up with math. But I've got so many grandchildren that just whirl in math that,
They acquired it from their
oh, I hope the dear person gave them her math, because she really had it.
What was the relationship of your mother with Effie Dean, Woolley Nixon, your grandmother?
Well, they didn't get along.
Absolutely enemies.
They didn't get along
Really?
at all.
She couldn't stand her.
And was there a reason for that, or?
No, I don't think so.
Yes, there was.
What was it, Jean?
Anything your grandmother wanted, your father gave. And your mother resented it.
Resented
Your
the
grandmother was number one in that household, and your mother was number two.
Oh, okay.
Should've
His
been.
father honored his mother more than the wife. Is that
Daddy
what you're
thought
saying?
his
Yes,
mother
all
walked
the
on.
time.
That
That was
was
the
an
big
angel.
conflict in the country.
She was
all
jealous.
of the children.
Grandma was demanding, and you didn't demand from my mother. She was the one that demanded.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a
But
demanding
but all the boys,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ezra, Jesco, St. Clair,
They all
Or
idolized
Willie.
their mother.
you couldn't say a thing against Grandmother Nixon to my dad. She walked on water.
My father was the same way.
She walked on water. Yep. And so their wives all knew that they were
Second.
second. And my mother was a patient person, so she lived with it.
But the grandmother's personality, what was her personality? She's demanding then.
Very
Were-
demanding.
Were the two women, the daughter-in-law and the mother,
Well, her mother,
I have
Willie's wife, rebelled.
okay,
Wouldn't-
but I'm
wouldn't
saying,
say-
were they both
I think
same
I
personality?
think Aunt Mildred and I think that's one of the reasons they stayed in the East, wasn't it?
Yes.
Uncle Jesco and
Yeah.
Aunt Mildred.
That'd be, yeah, that's probably true with Aunt Mildred.
Aunt
Probably.
Mildred was a very
Probably.
strong-willed person, and she just
But Aunt LaRue and Mother were the kind that peace comes first.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Peace comes first. And so, you know, they knew she wouldn't last forever, like all of us.
But,
But
you know,
she.
and,
Let me just say something about grandmother, though. Grandmother was a very kind person. At least she was to Reed and I.
Yes, she.
And-
I think she was.
And she was, and her family, all of her family was very important to her. And in fact, maybe too much